There are moments in history, in families, in silent rooms before dawn, when a single soul feels the weight of something invisible pressing gently against the heart. It is not fear. It is not pride. It is the quiet recognition that time has been moving in circles around a life that has always carried a mark of intention. Chosen one, your time is coming. Your destiny is ready. Not because the world suddenly changed its rules, not because the noise grew softer, but because something within you has been aligning with a rhythm that began long before you understood your own name. There has always been a pattern beneath your steps, a divine architecture shaping your detours, your pauses, your hidden tears. God has never lost sight of the thread that runs through your story. Even in the seasons when you felt unseen, even when doors closed with a final sound, destiny was not delayed. It was being prepared. What feels like waiting has been construction. What felt like isolation has been consecration. And what seemed ordinary has been the ground where something extraordinary has been quietly taking root. Stay with this message until the very end, because every word is a layer of revelation unfolding for you. In this very moment, let your heart open and allow your deepest, warmest wishes to rise to the surface just once, without fear, without doubt. Write them in the comments and seal them with Amen, along with number 77. Feel the universe respond as you affirm that what lives inside you is already recognized by God. This is the chapter where faith meets expectation, where intention meets divine timing, where what you carry within becomes aligned with what is ready to manifest. Let your belief move like light through your spirit, and let the energy of that belief echo far beyond this moment. From the beginning, there has been a difference about you that could not be easily explained. It was not always visible in talent or status. It was not always confirmed by applause. Sometimes it showed up as restlessness, as a longing for something you could not name. Other times it appeared as resistance, as if life itself demanded more strength from you than from those around you. While others moved through predictable paths, your road curved in unexpected directions. God allowed you to walk through circumstances that felt heavier than necessary, not to break you, but to refine something rare within you. The chosen are often shaped in silence. They are molded away from the spotlight. Their endurance is built in places where no one claps, where no one understands the internal battles being fought. There were nights when you questioned why certain doors never opened. There were seasons when you watched others rise while you remained in the background, feeling as though your efforts dissolved into thin air. Yet in those moments, something unseen was strengthening your foundation. Destiny does not rush. It gathers wisdom from every setback. It extracts resilience from every disappointment. God was not ignoring your prayers. He was arranging the timing. The delay was not rejection. It was protection. The silence was not abandonment. It was preparation. You have always sensed that your life carries more meaning than what is immediately visible. Even when doubt whispered, even when circumstances tried to define you by limitation, there was a quiet voice within, reminding you that this is not the final chapter. That voice was not imagination. It was the echo of purpose. The chosen one does not stumble into destiny accidentally. Every trial has been a lesson disguised as difficulty. Every betrayal has been a revelation about strength. Every loss has carved space for something greater to arrive. Think of the times when everything seemed to collapse at once. Plans unraveled, relationships shifted, Stability trembled. In those moments, it felt like the ground beneath you was dissolving. Yet what was truly happening was an unmaking of structures that could not support the weight of your future. God does not place new wine into old vessels. When destiny grows, the container must change. You are being expanded, stretched beyond comfort, reshaped into someone capable of carrying the magnitude of what is ahead. There is a reason your spirit never fully settled for mediocrity. There is a reason ordinary outcomes never satisfied the hunger in your soul. That hunger is not arrogance, it is recognition. It is the awareness that you were designed with intention. God inscribed potential into your very being. Even when you tried to shrink yourself to fit smaller expectations, even when you attempted to quiet the call within, something always pulled you back toward expansion. That pull is destiny. Many people misunderstand the journey of the chosen. Is not defined by imagine constant triumph, by readiness, visible favor, effortless success. Yet the truth is far more profound. The chosen often walk through fire before they stand in light. They endure misunderstanding before they are celebrated. They face solitude before they lead. Your story has not been smooth because smooth paths do not produce depth. The fractures in your life have allowed light to enter. The pressure has revealed what could not be discovered in comfort. There were moments when you felt invisible, when your efforts went unnoticed, when your kindness was overlooked. In those moments, something inside you learned to stand without applause. That strength is sacred. It is the kind of strength that does not collapse when recognition fades. God has been building in you a resilience that cannot be shaken by external validation. Destiny requires stability of spirit. It requires a heart that remains steady even when circumstances shift. You have faced opposition that seemed disproportionate to your actions, criticism that cut deeper than it should have, obstacles that appeared just as momentum began to build. These were not random events. They were confirmations. The greater the calling, the stronger the resistance. Darkness reacts to light. Doubt challenges faith. Yet every obstacle you survived became evidence that you are not easily defeated. The very things meant to discourage you became stepping stones beneath your feet. In quiet moments, you have felt something stirring, a sense that change is near, that a new chapter is approaching. That sensation is not illusion, it is alignment. When preparation meets timing, destiny begins to reveal itself. God has been synchronizing details beyond your awareness. Conversations you thought were insignificant, skills you developed without recognition, connections that seemed accidental. None of it has been random. Every thread is being woven into a tapestry you will one day see clearly. The chosen one often walks through seasons of pruning. Relationships fall away. Environments shift. Habits dissolve. What once felt secure becomes unfamiliar. Pruning is not punishment. It is refinement. God removes what cannot accompany you into the next level. Growth requires space, and space is often created through letting go. Even when the release feels painful, it carries within it the promise of expansion. There were times when you almost gave up, times when exhaustion settled into your bones and hope felt distant. Yet even then, you continued. Even when motivation faded, you endured. That endurance is not small. It is sacred evidence of destiny at work. Many would have turned back. Many would have accepted less. Yet something within you refused to surrender completely. That refusal is the mark of someone who knows deep down that their story is not finished. God has seen every silent tear, every unspoken prayer, Every moment you chose integrity when compromise seemed easier. None of it has been wasted. The chosen one is shaped by unseen faithfulness. Character is forged in private decisions, and destiny rests upon character more than charisma. What you have built inside matters more than what the world has seen outside. You may have wondered why your growth felt slower than others, why progress seemed gradual instead of dramatic. But deep roots grow quietly. The tallest trees often began with years of unseen strengthening beneath the surface. God was anchoring you so that when elevation comes, it does not topple you. Quick success without foundation collapses. Sustained destiny requires depth. There is a moment approaching when clarity will replace confusion, when the pieces of your journey will align in a way that makes sense. You will look back and realize that nothing was accidental. The heartbreaks redirected you. The failures taught you. The delays positioned you. And the waiting strengthened you. What once felt like scattered fragments will reveal itself as a deliberate design. Your time is not a random event. It is the convergence of preparation and divine timing. It is the point where internal transformation becomes visible manifestation. God does not rush this convergence, He orchestrates it. And when it arrives, it carries a sense of inevitability. Doors that once resisted will open with unexpected ease. Opportunities that seemed distant will appear within reach. And you will recognize that this is not luck, it is alignment. The chosen one often carries empathy forged through personal pain. Because you have struggled, you understand struggle. Because you have endured, you recognize endurance in others. This depth of understanding is part of your destiny. Influence rooted in compassion carries weight. Authority, shaped by humility, endures. God has allowed you to feel deeply so that your impact will be genuine, not superficial. There were seasons when comparison tried to steal your confidence, when watching others succeed made you question your own path. Yet comparison is a distraction from calling. Your timeline has never been identical to anyone else's. The blueprint for your destiny was drawn specifically for you. What unfolds in your life carries a rhythm unique to your journey. God does not duplicate destinies. He designs them individually. Even now, there is movement beneath the surface. Circumstances may appear unchanged, but shifts are occurring in realms you cannot see. Conversations are happening. Decisions are being influenced. Paths are being cleared. The chosen one does not always witness the preparation of their breakthrough, but breakthrough arrives nonetheless. Destiny often reveals itself suddenly after long periods of invisibility. The weight you have carried has strengthened your shoulders. The responsibilities you bore have matured your spirit. You have been trusted with difficulties because you are capable of growth through them. God does not waste suffering. He transforms it. And the transformation within you is far greater than the challenges that attempted to define you. There is something powerful about reaching a point where fear no longer dominates your vision. Not because fear disappeared, but because purpose grew stronger. The chosen one feels fear, yet continues forward. That courage is not loud. It is steady. It is the quiet decision to keep believing even when evidence is scarce. And that quiet belief has been echoing in the spiritual realm, shaping outcomes beyond your sight. You have felt seasons of loneliness, moments when understanding seemed absent. Yet solitude often precedes significance. In isolation, identity is clarified. In silence, direction becomes discernible. God uses quiet spaces to speak truths that noise would drown out. The clarity you gained in those moments has prepared you for environments where distraction will be constant. When destiny begins to unfold, it does not erase your past, it redeems it. The mistakes that once haunted you become lessons that guide you. The wounds that once hurt become testimonies of survival. Nothing in your story is unusable. God has the ability to weave even broken threads into beauty, and your narrative, with all its complexities, is part of a larger design. There is a sense of anticipation rising within you, a subtle awareness that something is shifting. That awareness is not unfounded. It is the spirit recognizing movement. The chosen one feels change before it becomes visible. Like the first light before sunrise, destiny often announces itself quietly before it floods the horizon. You have grown in ways that are not immediately measurable. Your patience has deepened. Your discernment has sharpened. Your resilience has solidified. These internal transformations are the true indicators that your time is approaching. God prepares the person before He reveals the platform, and the preparation within you has been extensive. There were times when you misunderstood the process, when frustration clouded your perspective. Yet even frustration carried purpose. It pushed you to seek deeper understanding. It forced you to confront limitations. It revealed strengths you did not know you possessed. Every emotional valley added dimension to your character. The chosen one is not defined by perfection, but by perseverance. Flaws did not disqualify you. Doubts did not cancel your destiny. Struggles did not remove God's hand from your life. Instead, they became the canvas upon which growth was painted. You have become stronger, not because life was easy, but because it was not. As this chapter unfolds, you may begin to notice subtle confirmations, small signs that reinforce what you have felt internally for so long. These confirmations are not coincidences. They are reminders that destiny is not abstract, it is tangible. It moves through real moments, real opportunities, real connections. God uses ordinary events to reveal extraordinary direction. The timing of your life has never been random. Even the pauses carried intention. Even the detours held instruction. You were never lost, even when you felt uncertain. The path was unfolding exactly as it needed to. And now, as readiness meets opportunity, you stand at the edge of revelation. You may notice that your intuition has sharpened. You sense shifts before they fully manifest. You detect subtle changes in atmosphere, in tone, in energy. This awareness is not paranoia, it is refinement. The chosen one develops spiritual sensitivity through experience. You have walked through enough to recognize patterns, and now that recognition protects you. There is a growing boldness in your silence. You no longer feel the need to explain yourself constantly. You are comfortable letting your actions speak. You are comfortable walking your path without convincing others to understand it. This confidence is quiet but powerful. God has anchored your identity so deeply that external misunderstanding no longer shakes your core. As destiny unfolds, you may feel an increase in responsibility. Not pressure, but awareness. A realization that your life carries impact, that your presence influences spaces, that your words hold weight. This realization does not inflate you, it humbles you, because you understand that influence is not about control. It is about stewardship, and you are becoming someone capable of handling it with integrity. There is also a heightened sense of discernment regarding opportunities. Not every open door feels right. Not every invitation aligns. You no longer chase everything that looks promising. You wait. you observe, you sense. God has trained you to value alignment over appearance. And that training ensures that when the right opportunity arrives, you recognize it without confusion. You may feel as though you are standing between two worlds, the old version of your life and the new one emerging. The old feels familiar but restrictive. The new feels expansive but undefined. This in-between space can feel uncomfortable, but it is sacred. It is the bridge between preparation and manifestation. The chosen one often lingers here briefly, not because they are lost, but because transition requires stability. During this phase, patience becomes less of a struggle and more of a strength. You understand that rushing can disrupt alignment. You trust that what is forming does not need your anxiety to accelerate it. God's timing does not require your panic. It requires your readiness. And readiness has already been cultivated within you. You might also experience moments of unexpected peace. Peace in situations that once would have unsettled you. Peace in uncertainty. Peace in waiting. This peace is not passive. It is powerful. It is the result of knowing that your life is guided, that you are not navigating chaos alone, that there is divine order beneath what appears unpredictable. There is a subtle shedding of fear happening, not dramatic, not loud, but steady. Fear no longer dictates your decisions in the same way. It no longer silences your voice. It no longer shrinks your vision. God has been replacing fear with faith gradually until faith now feels more natural than doubt. As you continue forward, you may sense increased opposition at times, not necessarily from people, but from circumstances. Small resistances, minor setbacks. These are not signs that you are off track. Often, they are signs that you are moving forward. Growth disrupts comfort. Expansion challenges stagnation. The chosen one does not retreat at resistance. They recognize it as confirmation that movement is occurring. There is also clarity forming around your strengths. You no longer downplay what you carry. You no longer pretend to be less capable than you are. You have seen your own resilience. You have witnessed your own endurance, and that self-recognition is healthy. It is not pride. It is acknowledgement of what God has built within you. In this chapter, your faith feels less like hope and more like certainty. You are not clinging to vague optimism. You are standing on lived experience. You have evidence of survival, evidence of growth, evidence of protection. That evidence strengthens your conviction that what is ahead will unfold as it should. You may find yourself speaking differently about your future. There is less hesitation in your tone, less doubt in your language. You no longer frame your dreams as impossibilities. You speak of them as inevitabilities waiting for the right moment. This shift in language reflects a shift in belief, and belief shapes reality more than you once realized. God has been teaching you endurance, not just for survival, but for sustainability. Destiny is not a single event. It is a sustained journey, and sustainability requires discipline, humility, and emotional stability. You are developing all three, quietly, consistently. There may be moments when you look around and realize that your environment no longer matches your internal growth. Conversations feel smaller, goals feel limited, perspectives feel narrow. This awareness is not judgment, it is recognition. You are expanding, and expansion sometimes requires relocation, physically, emotionally, or spiritually. The chosen one eventually reaches a point where comfort becomes less important than calling. You are no longer satisfied with what is easy. You are drawn toward what is meaningful, even if it requires effort, even if it demands courage. God has been aligning your desires with your destiny so that when movement is required, you are willing. There is also a strengthening of boundaries. You protect your peace more intentionally. You are selective with your time. You recognize that energy is valuable. This is not isolation. It is wisdom. Destiny requires focus, and focus requires boundaries. As this fourth part unfolds, the sense of transition becomes undeniable. You are no longer who you were when this journey began. The internal transformation has reached a point where external manifestation is inevitable. God has prepared you thoroughly, not hastily, not partially, thoroughly. The horizon ahead feels closer now, not distant, not abstract, close. And while every detail is not yet visible, the direction is clear. You are moving forward, not by force, but by alignment, not by fear, but by faith. The chosen one does not arrive at destiny suddenly. They grow into it, step by step, season by season, trial by trial. And now, as you stand in this unfolding chapter, there is a quiet but undeniable truth echoing within you. The time you sensed was coming is no longer far away. It is forming around you. It is aligning with you. And God is guiding every step into what has always been prepared for you. There is a sacred stillness that settles over the chosen one just before destiny fully reveals itself. It is not the stillness of inactivity, but the stillness of completion. The preparation has run its course. The refinement has done its work. The internal transformation is no longer in progress. It is established. You feel it in the depth of your breathing, in the steadiness of your thoughts, in the quiet confidence that no longer needs to announce itself. God has finished shaping what needed to be shaped within you. You are no longer striving to become worthy. You no longer wrestle with the question of whether you are enough. That battle has already been fought in hidden places, in silent nights, in moments when only God witnessed your endurance. And you emerged not perfect, but strengthened. Not untouched, but transformed. The insecurities that once whispered loudly have grown faint. The doubts that once lingered have dissolved into clarity. In this final chapter of the journey, you recognize that destiny was never chasing you from a distance. It was growing alongside you. Every hardship, every delay, every unanswered question was part of the formation. You were not waiting for destiny to arrive. Destiny was waiting for you to become who you are now. There is a powerful awareness that you are standing exactly where you are meant to stand. Not because everything is flawless, but because you are aligned. Alignment has replaced anxiety. Trust has replaced urgency. You no longer feel the need to force doors open. You no longer panic when timing feels mysterious. God has proven His faithfulness to you too many times for you to doubt the process now. You look back and see a path marked by resilience. The storms that once threatened to uproot you instead strengthened your foundation. The disappointments that once broke your heart carved out deeper wisdom. The seasons of silence refined your discernment. Nothing was wasted. Not a tear, not a prayer, not a single moment of endurance. The chosen one understands now that destiny is not about elevation alone. It is about impact. It is about walking into spaces with integrity, with humility, with awareness. You are not stepping into this next chapter to prove yourself. You are stepping into it because you are prepared to carry it. There is no longer fear attached to the future. There is respect for it, but not fear. You understand that whatever unfolds will meet a version of you that has already survived more than you once believed possible. Failure does not intimidate you. Delay does not discourage you. Opposition does not define you. You have already overcome too much to retreat now. God has not simply opened a door before you. He has reshaped you so that when you walk through it, you remain steady. Influence will not corrupt you. Success will not blind you. Visibility will not erase your humility. The lessons learned in obscurity will anchor you in prominence. There is a deep gratitude resting in your spirit, not just for what is coming, but for what has been. You are grateful for the seasons that felt slow because they built endurance. Grateful for the chapters that felt painful because they built compassion. Grateful for the uncertainty because it built faith. Gratitude has become your posture, and that posture keeps you grounded. You no longer need external confirmation to believe what God has spoken into your heart. You no longer need constant reassurance that your path is valid. You have seen enough evidence of divine orchestration to trust the unfolding. The coincidences were never coincidences. The protection was never accidental. The timing was never careless. As you stand at this threshold, there is no dramatic explosion of change. Instead, there is a seamless transition. The door opens because it was always meant to. The opportunity presents itself because you were always meant to step into it. The recognition comes because you were always meant to be seen at this time. You understand now that being chosen was never about superiority. It was about responsibility. It was about being refined through fire so that you could stand without arrogance. It was about being humbled through waiting so that you could lead with compassion. God chose you not because you were flawless, but because you were willing to endure transformation. The final realization is simple but profound. You are no longer becoming. You are. The version of you that once felt distant is now present. The strength you once hoped for is now embodied. The clarity you once prayed for is now lived. Destiny is not a distant horizon anymore. It is the ground beneath your feet. It is the breath in your lungs. It is the steady rhythm of your steps as you move forward without hesitation. You are not stepping into something unfamiliar. You are stepping into what was always yours. And as this journey closes its final chapter, there is a quiet but powerful truth echoing through your spirit. God has been faithful in every season. He prepared you carefully. He protected you intentionally. He positioned you precisely. Your time is not coming anymore. It has arrived.